Hey man, thanks for stopping by. Every week I scour the interwebs to find juicy free games for you to enjoy, and this week is no exception. So I wanna jump right in because we have something very special today on the Epic Store. The ability for you to beat your Meat Boy forever and beyond recognition. Come on, get your head off the gutter man, I'm talking about the game, not your third leg. Anywho, Meat Boy Forever is free to claim until February 29th. Here you will jump, dive, slide and punch your way through brutal levels and mean bosses that mostly remind me of my ex-girlfriend. Her name was Mere and she was surprisingly muscular. Mere, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing shit. Anyway, back to the game. There is something like 5,000 levels that you can play, so you will most likely never see the same level twice, which is good value for money with the great asking price of $0. The girthy Meat Boy thing will then be replaced by Aerial Knight's Never Yield, where you survive a futuristic Tokyo-style Detroit in this 3D runner that tells the story of Wally, who has uncovered some evidence of some sort that can change his city forever. Here, you'll have the pleasure of exploring a world with a fantastic and dope soundtrack. It really lifts it up and carries the game. If you're one of those with good eye to brain to ear to hand coordination, then you'll do great. If you're more like me with limited coordination skills, then you might feel the rage boil to a point where you'd rather sit on a cactus for a more pleasurable time. Being free, I can't really complain. At least secure it in your digital library and take it out for a spin at some point in the future. After all, it is sitting in with very positive reviews on Steam, so they are for sure doing something right. By the way, if you want to stay up to date on free games and get them served to you in this quick and quirky setting, then do us both a favor and smash the subscribe button with your super meaty boy. Thank you. Oh, and the links to all of the games mentioned in this video are as always in the description and they take you straight to the deal. I wanna get your eyeballs glued to Feud, which is a turn-based strategy game. You have to swap pieces in a 4x4 grid to isolate your opponent's pieces or just go straight for the king. You can either hone your skills against 3 AI characters, each with distinct playing styles, before challenging your friends online if you're lucky enough to have any of those. It's quite an interesting concept on a board game which requires you to think steps ahead, and it's surprisingly fun, even with a dude like me with limited functioning brain cells. So if you're one of those big brain strategy boys, then I think you might enjoy this little indie board game. It's 100% free on Steam and it's sitting in with positive reviews. Up next, we have an interesting concept, World of Shooting, which is a first-person sports shooting sim, I guess, from the developers of World of Guns. I mean, World of Warships, okay, World of Tanks, okay, but we even have a World of Guns. And to be fair, I had no idea a game like this even existed. Here, you can collect hundreds of realistic firearms and accessories, beat practical shooting and tactical training campaigns, set global high scores, and build your own range for an added touch of buildability. Buildability. I guess that's a word now. For an early access game, this bad boy's got legs. Now just let the devs cook a bit, file off the rough edges and add some awesome new features and quality of life improvements, and you actually might have something that's pretty good. The gameplay is fairly addictive and I'm actually feeling the competitive rush, trying to ace around and get my juicy butt cheeks on the worldwide leaderboards. To be fair, I was kinda left with the feeling that the game does feel a little bit grindy and I would like them to adjust that. But World of Shooting is sitting in with very positive reviews on Steam, so they're off to a good start nonetheless. I want to take a quick look at Hoversteppers, which is a freestyle hoverboard skating game. You have to flip, spin and test your boarding skills with time challenges across multiple stages. It does look pretty juicy and it still feels fairly smooth, and that's always nice in a skateboarding game. If you're interested, you can play the first zone and get the board greased up for the full release, which is expected sometime in 2024. Next up, I would like to present to you one of the funkier looking games in today's video, and it's a Ruined Dog. After hundreds of years of invincibility, it has become popular to watch live alien hunts and to participate in those alien hunts, where you get to save up money, buy equipment and use the various trophies you find to move on to new maps and defeat more powerful enemies. It's an interesting concept with the funky comic-like graphical detail that we don't see very much of these days. A fun action single player roguelike that's giving me Borderlands on steroid vibes. Keep in mind that it's only a prologue, which is just a flavoring so to say, but it'll give you a decent taste for the game and maybe explain why it's sitting in with very positive reviews on Steam. By the way, I didn't know if you knew this, but I have a Discord server up if you're in the mood to hang with, some fellow nerds. It's a bit of a weird space, but I guess that matches with my weird head. Anyway, I left a link in the description, don't feel obliged. If you want it, then I'll see you in there. I want to get another quick look in at Kneedle Knight, for those that need their cuteness meter topped up to the max. Kneedle Knight is a third-person puzzle platforming game. You have to conjure fabric with a magic needle as Sir Lucas the Small and merge in and out of that fabric at your heart's content. Here you'll be solving puzzles, platform across magical objects and defeat cursed candle minions to return Sir Lucas to normal and defeat the Witch of Fabric. A great combination of action, RPG, platformer with a sprinkle of puzzles to spice things up. Next up, a game that actually scares me a little bit. I hope that the future of gaming does not go in this direction. After taking this bad boy for a spin, I sat back with a feeling of a weird fish flavor in my mouth. I'm talking about the game Zarathustra, which is an interesting name that took me 3 times to pronounce correctly and I probably didn't. Here, you'll take on the role of Agent Amy Tanner and solve a case in a cyberpunk future, where technology and religion have become one. A classic pixel art point-and-click adventure. But this is not where we have a problem. We have a problem because I am guessing, and my hypothesis is, that this game is entirely AI generated. And I mean entirely, the art, the voices, and probably most of the writing as well. I can't be 100% sure, I just have this feeling in my stomach, and usually when I have that feeling I either need to go to the toilet or I'm 100% right. And currently there is no toilet in sight. To be fair, the art is super cool, but the game is somewhat mid, and the puzzles are not intuitive and the UI is kinda janky. And I think that's to be expected if it's a fully AI generated game. Now, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this, considering it's sitting in with mostly positive reviews. So I guess they're doing something right, unless they've used that AI ChatGPT 4 power to add some reviews and push it up to the positive list. I strongly suggest that you give it a go and let me know if you agree with my analysis, my state-of-the-art hypothesis. A lot of s's there in that sentence, so let's enough s's. And that pretty much brings us to the end of today's video. Thanks a lot for taking the time to watch my video. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, subscribe if you haven't, like why not? Thanks a lot for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.